I came to the Hildebrand seminar because I have a great interest in Dietrich von Hildebrand. I've been reading his work for the last 2 years, and I really wanted to delve deeper into his thought, into his writings, and try to apply it and take it back to my studies on marriage and family. I feel like personalism is very relevant to marriage and family, particularly in the area of relationship and relating to others, seeing someone as the whole person and not just an object of use or a utilitarian sort of understanding. And so having a more holistic view of the human person will really help in fostering an authentic relationship or authentic communion of love. The most surprising thing or unexpected thing that I've learnt this week would probably be the session we had on the human person and community. So we've been looking at the struggle of the human person, and I suppose I really liked the session on the human person and community because it wasn't something I'd really thought about before, but looking at the dignity of the person and how that relates to living in community. And I was really struck by one of John Henry Crosby's talk, where he was talking about Dietrich von Hildebrand's sort of the climate in the National Socialist era, and he mentioned a story that really spoke to me about Hitler in 1933 appointed a person by the name of Shem as the Minister of Culture, and he gave a talk to the Munich University, and he said to them, to the faculty there, "You are no longer to ask, is this true, but rather, is this in line with National Socialism?" And I thought that was a very key sentence, and I thought it really shed a lot of light on collectivism or totalitarian regimes where the person becomes, or the dignity of the person is not seen as something intrinsic, but something that's given to them by the state. And so, looking at a totalitarian regime or the person in community where they're not seen as intrinsic dignity in and of itself, but their value is found in a collective regime. And so, like seeing the community and how you can serve the human person, but also how living in community can also undermine the human person and even undermine truth, as was evident in that story of that professor or the minister talking to the professors at Munich University. If someone was to ask why they should read Dietrich von Hildebrand, I would say because he's a very original thinker. I've got a strong passion for his writings, particularly on love and marriage, and I think he's very original in his address, particularly of the unitive nature of marriage. And so he talks obviously about the unitive and procreative aspects, but he was a very big pioneer particularly with marriage and family, in terms of focusing on the meaning of marriage being love and the unitive aspect, and also his whole idea of understanding love in terms of the heart and the will. So we have a very great Catholic tradition of seeing the act of the will in love, and Aquinas talks about love as willing the good of the other, which I'm sure von Hildebrand would very much agree with. But von Hildebrand, to me anyway, is how I interpret him, says, hang on, let's not forget about the affectivity of the heart, the emotions. And I feel like he sheds so much light on the role between the emotions and the will and love, and I think that's a very original and unique aspect of von Hildebrand's thought, and I'd really encourage people to look into that. And he writes very beautifully. I know Pope Benedict, when he was Cardinal Ratzinger, said that when the Church looks back at the history of the intellectual life of the Church in the 20th century, that von Hildebrand will be at the top of the pile, and so he's highly regarded by people who are highly regarded. And so, I definitely encourage anyone to read Dietrich von Hildebrand. What's been unique and original about the von Hildebrand seminar, I think, is the people mainly. We've had some incredible sessions. We've been very blessed with the speakers, the professors we've had, with Michael Novak and Rocco and John Henry Crosby as well. But just the discussions we've been able to have over breakfast, over lunch, over dinner, in the evenings, and to be surrounded by so many people with diverse backgrounds, but can still have a great love and find something valuable in the thought of von Hildebrand to take to their own schools of thought or their areas of work. And so the people have made it a very unique and interesting experience, and I've really gained a lot of insight from people, and I've really valued being able to talk to others who have applied the thought of von Hildebrand to their own work and making connections that I've never made before. And so that's been the most unique and surprising experience for me.